I'm going to jump in this tomorrow, and I'm telling you folks, right there, how white folks got so rich. The untold story of American white supremacy. I mean, I just read about the Indian land grab, and I'm like, my gosh, man, good Lord. No wonder we don't want to teach the truth. No wonder we don't want to teach the truth. Because that means we've got to look people in the face and say, our forefathers were the worst people in the history of mankind. The things that they did, that manifest destiny, that kind of mentality has been atrocious. What we have done to the African Americans. The estimated number of wealth that came from slavery, from free labor, and that's what it was. And they estimate that the amount of money that came from slavery was around $24 trillion. You can't even grasp that much money. The average person has a hard time grasping what $1 billion is. $1 trillion. Holy shit. And a lot of people don't want to admit the truth, because a lot of people also are scared that what happens if we actually do have to maybe pay reparations. Understand that everything, that beautiful capital in Washington, D.C. was built by slave labor. The majority of the churches in this country were built by slave labor. Our forefathers were lazy. And if they were smart, which they were, but the problem was they were cunning and sad.
All right, Shalom Akim. Call Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi Bahashem Yahawashi. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and is pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. And shalom to the Akwah that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings to you all. Barakatham. Alright, so we're gonna get into this lesson, man. It's been a minute since since we really got on Esau's acquisition of power, man. And as it's being basically admitted to by their own people, you know what I'm saying? By their own people. And I perceive this to be an Edomite. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get into this, man. And this lesson's not going to be long. I just want to touch up on this because I know many of the brethren have already touched up on this subject. So I wanted to give my 2 cents, bring some scriptures into this whole fray. But yeah, we're in the last days, man. The last days, in that last age of theirs, there will be no honor. There will be no honor. Not in these final days. Not in these final days, man. All that they held in secrecy, as the scripture says, coming out to light. This whole critical race theory, it's not a theory in the slightest. These are all facts. These are all proven. These are all verified. And there's no hiding behind this. There's no hiding, you know what I'm saying, behind your witchcraft anymore. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's paying attention to your to your falsified books. You know what I'm saying? Your doctored books. You see? Nobody's paying attention to these things. Your pseudoscience, nobody. Nobody. Because they know it was all a lie. If you're getting out here talking about these people weren't slaves, they were unpaid workers. As if we volunteered for this thing, you know what I'm saying? Negating all of what's verified in history. You see? That book that he's got, How White Folks Got So Rich. I want to grab that book, man. I want to grab that book. I believe Elder Malcolm said he wanted to grab it as well. You know, I would like to grab that book. So I'm going to look into that. You know, but they don't like this. They don't like the truth. You know what I'm saying? They don't like to deal with the truth of what they've done. Right? They tell us to forget these things. They tell us, you know, we're wrong for speaking on them. We're wrong for bringing them out. No, we're not. No, we're not. These things have never been paid. These things have never been reprimanded. Right? As it is written. Let's grab that. Let's go to Numbers chapter 35, verse 33. Right? It says, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are. For blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. You see? This is how the Most High works. And when you bring that to these Edomites, man, they don't want to hear it, man. They don't want to hear it. Everybody wants to be a Christian. Everybody wants to be a Christian until the scriptures are read. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't talk that. They didn't talk about turning the other cheek when it came to 9/11. They didn't talk about turning the other cheek when it came to Pearl Harbor. They didn't talk about those things. No, they believe in justice when it's for them. They believe in justice when it's for them. They don't believe in justice when it's for someone else. They don't believe in justice when it comes to the Israelites, when it comes to those that they are oppressing. They don't believe in justice. They believe in turn the other cheek. They believe in remember Martin Luther King. Remember I have a dream. You know what I'm saying? Remember be docile. You know what I'm saying? Remember don't do nothing. Don't say nothing. And you know what? It's alright. Because we're not saying nothing. Oh, Slocky, we're not doing anything. But praying to our power. We're waiting for him to deal with y'all. We're waiting for him to deal with y'all. You know what I'm saying? You think that we should just forget about this stuff. No, we're not. No, we're not. That's not what we're instructed to do. You know what I'm saying? It's not what we're instructed to do. So let's go to Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 7. It says, remember the days of old. Remember the days of old. It doesn't say to forget. It says to remember these things. Remember the days of old. Consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee. Thy elders, and they will tell thee. You see what I'm saying? One of the reasons why they separated us during slavery from the parents from the children. You know what I'm saying? Why? Is to make sure that the history didn't get passed down. But this thing is too well known. Too well known. You know what I'm saying? If you got the president of Russia, you know, calling out your crimes. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, this thing's about to come to a head, man. It's about to come to a head. Right? No more hiding behind your media. No more hiding behind, you know, the shaming tactics. No. No, this is Job chapter 9. Let's grab this. Job chapter 9, verse 23. Let's grab that. Job 9 and 23, it says, if the scourge slay suddenly, he will laugh at the trial of the innocent. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? If it's not these devils, these so-called white people, if it's not them, then who is it? That's the question. If it's not them, then who is it? You see? Like I said, these things are verified. These things are verified, and that's why you don't hear too much coming out of these Negroes that's talking about Esau's not the white man. Esau are the Arabs. You know what I'm saying? You don't hear that coming from these dumb niggas no more, man. No, you don't hear that. You see? Because it's becoming more and more apparent at this point. Right? Let's go to Job chapter 15, verse 20. Let's hit 28. 29. Job 15 and 29. It says, "He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall he prolong the perfection thereof upon the earth." You see? He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue. Right? These people ain't gonna remain on top forever, man.
Let's get back to Earth.
Slacky. Let me get this together. Salaki for that. Let's continue. It says, "He shall not be rich, neither shall his substance continue, neither shall he prolong the perfection thereof upon the earth." Esau's been in his perfection for the last, 100 years now? Right? They've been feared amongst all these other nations. You know, they were once the richest nation on the planet at one point. That's not the case anymore. You know, your dollar is no longer the reserve currency. All these other nations are turning away from your currency. All these other nations are wagging their finger in your face. You see? This thing is coming to a close. It says, verse 30, it says, "He shall not depart out of darkness. The flame shall dry up his branches, and by the breath of his mouth shall he go away." You see? It's all going to come to an end once those nukes fall. It's all going to come to an end. The end of your empire, the end of all your influence. Verse 31, it says, "Let not him that is deceived trust in vanity, for vanity shall be his recompense." Right? It shall be accomplished before his time. It shall be accomplished before his time. And his branch shall not be green. Slacky. And his branch shall not be green. He shall shake off his unripe grape as the vine, and shall cast off his flower as the olive. For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate, and fire shall consume the tabernacles of bribery. Right? For the congregation of hypocrites shall be desolate. What did this man say? He said majority of these churches out here were built by slaves. Majority of these churches out here. You see what I'm saying? They call themselves Christians. They call themselves Christians, but they don't live according to these scriptures. And that's where you get Psalms the 50th chapter. You know what I'm saying? So unto the wicked he said, "What hast thou to do to declare my statutes? And that thou should declare my you know what I'm saying? Let me grab this. I hate butchering scriptures, man. Salaki, bear with me. Let's go to Psalms chapter 50, verse 16, it says, But unto the wicked the Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and casteth my words behind thee. And that's exactly what they did. On the one hand, they claim to be Christians. And on the other hand, they don't live a damn thing according to these scriptures. You see what I'm saying? So let's go to Genesis. Let's see how these so-called white people got so rich and got so wealthy. You see? It all goes back to the beginning. Let's go to Genesis chapter 27, verse 38. It says, And Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. Thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. That means the best. That means the best parts of all the earth. And they shall conquer it. You see what I'm saying? It continues here. It says, And of the dew of heaven from above. And by thy sword shalt thou live. And by thy sword shalt thou live. And shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. You see what I'm saying? And after the so-called dark ages, when our people were ruling all of Europe, they broke out of the dominion of Jacob and established his own dominion, and they called it the Renaissance, which means rebirth. You see, after that 1,000 years, they broke out, according to the book of Revelations, where the devil would be loosed for 1,000 years to deceive the whole world. And that's what happened. Esau, Edom broke loose and deceived the whole world. And there you have Job 9 and 24. You see what I'm saying? The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Right? Let's continue. Let's go back to Job. Let's go back to Job. Let's grab Job chapter 20, verse 15. Job 20 and 15, it says, He hath swallowed down riches. He hath swallowed down riches. It says, how white folks got so rich? Well, it says it right here. It says, He hath swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them back up again. And that's what the end game is. That's what the end game is. You see what I'm saying? And Yahawah said it in Luke. Yahawah said it in Luke. I'm gonna grab that, Lord willing, after this precept. It says, And he shall vomit them up again. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. The Most High shall cast them out of his belly. Right? So let's go to Luke. Luke chapter 14, verse 14. Right here, and it reads, And thou shalt be blessed. And thou shalt be blessed. Who? The Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indians, and all the offspring of theirs who are scattered throughout the entire world, whose lineage dates back to them according to the lines of their fathers. You see? You see, it's all about a specific bloodline. It's all about a specific bloodline, man. If you go to Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, it's talking about the same people. Same people, the ones that's been promised the same thing. They've been promised the first covenant and the second covenant, according to Jeremiah 31, verse 31, right? Hebrews chapter 8, verse 8. It's the same people, right? Luke chapter 14, verse 14 again, it says, And thou shalt be blessed, for they cannot recompense thee. You see, they cannot recompense us. They can't pay us back for what they forced us to do. They can't pay us back. What the guy say? It's $24 trillion. $24 trillion. You see what I'm saying? I don't even know the GDP of most countries, man, but I can guarantee you that's a couple countries worth of wealth. That's a couple countries worth of wealth. And that's how America became the wealthiest nation on the planet. $24 trillion, they can never pay that back. You see? And thou shalt be blessed, for they cannot recompense thee. For thou shalt be recompensed at the resurrection of the just. You see, when Yahushua comes back, that's when we get our recompense. That's when we get our payback. You see what I'm saying? Let's finish this off with Psalms. Let's go to Psalms chapter 73, verse 12. It says, behold, these are the ungodly. These are the ungodly. They're people. That's why this dude said, he said we would have to get up in people's faces and tell them that our people, these so-called white people, were the worst scum of the earth in all of humankind. You see what I'm saying? According to his own lips. According to his own lips. You know what I'm saying? It says, behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. They increase in riches. As a matter of fact, the precept just came to mind. This is Job chapter 15, verse 5. It says, for thy mouth uttereth thine iniquity, and thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Thou choosest the tongue of the crafty. Thine own mouth condemned thee. Slack it. Thine own mouth condemneth thee, and not I. Yeah, thine own lips testify against it. You see what I'm saying? And this is the wicked. And this is the wicked, and they know what these chariots mean. They know what the sightings of these UFOs mean. They know what it means. The ones in the upper echelons of power, they know what it means. And so do we. Alright, so I'm going to cut that there, man. I want to say, call hello, Yahawah Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Yahawashi. Shalom to the Yakim out there that's pushing the truth, that's laboring in the word, and that's pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Akwah that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith and remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings to you all. Barakatham. Shalom.